Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for being such a great blessing to. I'm sure you recognize me. Um, I'm going to go back as a young child watching us grow in Foursquare Shomolu. I'm Pastor and Pastor Mrs. Aaron's son.
Oh my God. Who is this Aaron? Oh, the son of Charles Chibuzo Aaron.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh my God. I was the pastor of his parents when they just came
Yep.
back from Britain. One of the loveliest couples I have ever met in my life. You have been blessed with some big chicks. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh no. I mean,
Thank,
I can still remember your parents so clearly. Fantastic people. Fantastic.
thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And so for me, watching as a child, I mean, I had the privilege of you dedicating my two younger ones, and
Yes.
everything you're saying today, you have said it for literally the last 40 something years of my life. I've heard you even then as a little child. You always said, "Look, you are more than a pastor. You are going to have world creation, world dominion, and things like that." And in the environment we grew, those things were far fetched.
Yeah.
What audacity does does anybody have to say that kind of thing? And so, for someone who's watched you these last 30 years, maybe in five sentences, what marked you separately? What words can you give out for people like me who held on to your words over 30 years and just watching you from a distance? And for many of those people from the same environment who are watching, and you've been different from all of them, what five sentences or words, if you can crystallize, marked you differently from everybody amongst those you grew in your peers, amongst your peers, such that you're in a level and a class all by yourself?
I think the first thing would be vision. Vision is a necessity. What you see determines what grows inside you.
Mm.
Once your vision is clear, your future is clear. If your vision is blurry, your future will be blurry. So you've got to have a clarity of vision of where you want to go. Even when I was a bachelor pastor in the church where Aaron grew, as early as 43 years ago, I wanted to leave to just go and study and even be a better person. Number one is vision. Number two will be focus. Once you decide on where you want to go, there will be things that want to break your focus.
Mm.
A broken focus is the beginning of accidents.
Mm.
Focus is the beginning of disaster. If your focus is clear, your future will be clear. If your focus is clear, you will reach where you are going. The reason you can see me sharp on the screen is because the camera is focused and it is clear. If the camera becomes blurry, what you see will be blurry. So you need to keep your focus. Then the next one, of course, optimize your life. I live in what I call quadrants of life. Those quadrants, those boxes, I prioritize some things. I prioritize my mind. I prioritize my family. I prioritize my relationships, and I prioritize my dreams. Your mind, you prioritize. You need to qualify what enters your mind. And let me tell you, for example, what people do is a picture of how they see themselves. I have difficulty eating because, okay, I'm right now in Nigeria. You guys are enjoying, you're in London. If I go down the street right now, I live in Lekki. If I go down the street, there'll be some mama put restaurant. I have difficulty, not because I'm a pastor. I have difficulty just sitting down in a place where I don't even know what quality assurance they have on the food they cook. But people just want the cheap food. They say that mama put her soup. Hey, there's another level. And then they put it in their 1 million pound body. That body is so valuable. I can't sit down in mama put. It is a picture of how I see my mind. My mind is so precious for me to achieve the things I want to achieve and for me to mold the people around me. Then number two is my family. My family is so precious to me so that anything I'm doing, anything I have, is for my family. I think generationally. Right here where I am, I'm already generational. I'm more interested in the school of my grandchildren, and I'm interested in paying it. I don't even want my sons to pay. I want to pay. You want to know why? Because the Bible says a righteous man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Yeah. And the third, of course, is maximization of life. You see, you only live once, but you can maximize that life in such a way that with that one life, you can impact your own self and everybody. Maximize your thinking. So, for example, when I say maximization, let me show you what I do. As a pastor, I don't preach a standalone sermon. Anything I preach is in a series of about 10 or 17. I see in that message what people heard on Sunday. I see a CD, I see a DVD, I see a chapter in a book. I see a chapter in a book. So in other words, I maximize. So when I'm preparing, I put so many hours. It takes me more than 20 hours to prepare a 30 minutes message because it's not for 30 minutes. It's for CDs for 10 years, DVDs for 10 years, books are forever. So every time I'm doing anything, I'm maximizing my life. And there are things I did 20 years ago that are still a benefit to me today. For example, when they were introducing me, they said I had produced a Power of Positive Prayer Bible. Now, this Bible is 19 years old. I don't even have the kind of time to write the 7 to 15,000 prayer points inside. But it was in the season of maximizing an idea. So anyone who's on this platform tonight, you need to maximize your life. You can't, some people, they just live, they are just hoping that one day they'll be wealthy. It doesn't happen by accident. Wealth is a process. It is a process you go through. And unfortunately, the challenge is that many of us, we have been raised badly by the impression, okay, get an MBA. Then when you get the MBA, you just find you are stuck. There's a limit to the salary. What you need is to realize that education is fantastic, but the problem you solve is the most major. I don't know if I answered your question.
No, you have. One more thing, which was a key, thank you very much, sir, which was a very key at the heart of what Mr. Mayowa and I were thinking about when creating this conference, is we were very intentional about this being to our people, our type of people. Now, your book, What's Wrong with Being Black, delves positively into the rich history of people of color, research, using evidence even from very biblical, anthropological, historical, ancient literature. Great, amazing book. Dates back to almost 3,000. You concluded in that book that people of color have a positive history. I've never seen anyone elevate us that much now. And that is the truth about people of color. We were the first to give structure and order in society, like you explain in that book. Now, off the back of the BLM movement that we've seen, clearly highlighting the inequality of centuries. And I'm asking, what happened to people of color that still today we have that subliminal mindset of feeling slightly unequal or having to pander to another race, seeking affirmation and approval?
Well, it is like so many things fell on each other. And the key thing is for one to just come to this one clear conclusion. Nothing is wrong with the black person, but the fact that he has not dealt with issues that came on top of issues, that came on top of issues, that came on top of issues. When you read Isaiah 19 and Isaiah 20, it is obvious that there was a prophecy there that one day these people of color, these people from Egypt, when you see the word Egypt, they are replaced with black because the word Egypt is Mizraim. Egypt is not the Arab man who lives in Egypt today. Mizraim is the man of color. And in that place, it actually showed how that one day they'll be carried away in ships to go and serve in nations. But you see, all that slavery is over. What is the issue today? The issue is multivarious. The best thing is individuals finding their hope and salvation by this kind of platform. Come to this platform, create wealth, and use your wealth to make a change. And also believe that you have the ability. You see, listen, there is no time, but if you want me to really give you indications of the fact that the black man is where other races want him to be, there are too many evidences. Let me start with just a very subliminal one. Very, very subliminal that is almost controversial. The latest way to get blacks to move to the Western world now is by highly skilled application. But the truth is this, 300 years ago, they came to carry them against their will. 300 years later, they ask you to buy your own ticket and come. And when you come, you create a middle-class lifestyle. Remember, I said there are four kinds. I have not met anyone who came with highly skilled visa who created wealth.
Wow. Wow.
Unless he heard Mayowa or you or this kind of platform. But there's something lies to him that he is okay. He's excited because, let me use Nigerian language. He's excited because now he's in a place where NEPA cannot frustrate him. And he does not realize that, hey, bro, your life is bigger than all this NEPA and all that and all that and all that. You are from a nation. I mean, let me tell you one hard truth about Africa. Africa is the reason the world will exist and will survive. Africa is the future. Let me give you 5 things. 60% of farmable land on earth right now. 60%. This is not Pastor Matthew. International Food and Agric Organization said 60% of farmable land right now is in Africa. 90% of the raw material used right now in the world of technology is coming from Africa. For example, this phone works because of coltan. Coltan is only gotten to make the battery only in one place, between Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda. And Mr. Aaron, let me shock you how much a policeman earns in Congo. $10. He earns $10. Congo is in the bottom 10 poorest nations on earth, and it has the highest mineral on earth. No nation has Congo's minerals. Wow. It has the second largest Amazon forest. It has the highest deposit. It has the highest diamond deposit among other nations. 95% of platinum reserve now is in Africa. And I don't know if you know, platinum is now higher than gold. It's higher than diamond. Because platinum is used in technology. And so platinum, 95% of it is only found in Africa. 33% of diamond reserve is in Africa. 40% of all gold reserve of the world is in Africa. So the future, but one thing is clear. If one wants to begin to unravel, there are too many things that fell on each other. Firstly, misconception that went on for 300 years by a German doctor, even me who wrote the book, because it's a long time I wrote it. I can't remember the name of the doctor, but it's in that book. He was the one who classified people and called whites Caucasians. You know the meaning of Caucasian? If you don't know, I can break it for you. You want to know?
Yes, sir. Go on.
Do you know that it is so stupidly erroneous to call whites Caucasian because it means that they originated from the Caucasus Mountains? And whites don't originate from the Caucasus Mountains. This German guy who was trying to anthropologically divide, he said they are dark skin because they originated from the Caucasus Mountains. It's not true. It's not true. So deliberate classification to put down people was now sold for hundreds of years until the people themselves believed it.
Realized, yeah.
You see, if you really want to break it down, you'll be shocked. Or anybody who is Asian, Indian, Chinese, who else are Asians? Japanese, all those places are all sons of Ham. They have the same root as blacks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just pigmentation difference, and your skin is 1/16 of an inch of difference. That's it from anybody else. So that's why anybody on this platform must never think that you couldn't do it. One of the benefits, I thank you for your question. And one of the things I feel grateful for is that I was born Nigerian.
Yes, sir.
You want to know why?
Why, sir?
I was never raised in a place of prejudice. I didn't even know I was colored. Mayowa, I did not know I was colored until 1978. I was on my way to the US. So I stopped in Amsterdam. I heard that there's a Bible study in a boat called the Ark, belonging to YWAM, Youth with a Mission. So I went to the Bible study excited. Hot Pastor Young, single pastor on his way to America to study. So I entered the boat and we're doing Bible study. At the end of the Bible study, one young American white boy came to me and shook my hand. He said, "My father doesn't like colored people, but Jesus has taught me to love colored people." So I'm thinking, who are these people he's talking about? Oh, I did not know I was one of them. You know, for everyone who's listening tonight, hear no evil, see no evil, feel no evil.
Wow.
You have capacity, you have ability. There is an insect called the bumblebee.
Yeah.
According to the law of aeronautics, the bumblebee should not fly. But the bumblebee does not know the law of aeronautics, so the bumblebee flies.
Well, thank you so much. I'm going to sneak in one more question before we go to people, just because this is valuable time.
Okay.
All right. So, it was Jeff Bezos of Amazon who says that the beauty of humans is that we are always trying to improve things, and this is what sparks entrepreneurialism. He says, and I dare say that as Christians, we are always looking to God. I was running a mastermind this morning, and this is what I was challenging members of my mastermind. We are constantly always looking to God to improve things, and there's no better person to answer this, you being a pastor also. How do we walk that balance of faith and works, and not faith alone without works? Because especially from a continent like Africa, we're constantly praying and praying and praying. And I'm challenging my clients this morning, just get out there and move on. And someone is saying, but we're waiting on God. I said, where did you guys get this misunderstanding of waiting on God? When I hear wait on God, when I hear seek, I hear an action word. I don't understand the sit down. So I think if people hear it from you, this will possibly just help liberate those of us from the faith.
Fantastic question. By the way, one of my beautiful daughters just sent me the name of the German anthropologist. I guess she must have read the book Fresher, Johann Friedrich Blumenbach.
Yeah, you mentioned
Johann Friedrich Blumenbach was a German anthropologist who classified people and said whites are Caucasians because they come from the Caucasus Mountains. And he does not agree with human migration. He does not agree with anything. Matter of fact, later, scientific placement by genetics places all persons back towards Africa. Back towards Africa. So let's leave that by the way. Absolutely amazing question you just asked. You see, on this platform, I apologize on behalf of any pastors who teach with imbalance. I apologize to the body of Christ for the often misinformation. Jesus always showed that Christianity must be like a pendulum. Principle, power. Principle, power. Principle, power. Where Jesus wants principle applied, you will see. Where he wants to show power, you will see. It comes to the grave of a dead man. He's about to raise the dead man. What did he ask the people to do?
Roll the stone.
Roll away the stone. Couldn't he by power roll away the stone?
Yes, sir.
He could. But you see, he wanted them to do what humans should do. You see, Christians, with all due respect, they will tithe. Then they'll be waiting for a financial miracle. It's not enough. After you've done the tithing, you need to create the platform God can breathe on. Deuteronomy 28, verse 5 to 12 talks of 3 platforms. It says the work of your hand, your basket, and your storehouse. If you present work of your hand, salary, God will bless salary. If you now go beyond that and you have basket level,
business,
small, medium enterprise, God will bless that. But if you now grow and have storehouse level,
multinational,
God will bless storehouse. So Christians are often out of balance when they expect God to do what they should do. It is the responsibility of the believer to realize that even though I am a praying person, I've got to take steps that show that I believe. Faith without corresponding actions is dead. There has to be corresponding actions. That's why this platform is created. That's why we're teaching people wealth creation. Go after real estate. Go after bonds and shares. And that's why I corrected a notion earlier where some pastors are heavily telling everybody, you must not borrow. You must not borrow. If God gave Aaron the chance to be the man to do the road from, what shall we do now? Maybe a new road from Milton Keynes to Scotland.
Amen.
And it's a 10 billion pound project. There's no room. I mean, there are so many things we teach at the Money Masterclass. Dilution is a principle in wealth creation. Dilution. You get the banks to put theirs, you get other partners to put in. But if you say, well, I don't want to borrow, and you put your own risk alone, if you are doing that road to Scotland, 10 billion pounds, and NatWest money is there, Barclays money is there, they will not be doing shabalabala, speaking in tongues while the road is being built with you. They will want to see the number crunching. They will want to calculate the profit. They will actually designate their own engineers to be at the place so that they watch over their money along with you. So many Christians need to get it right. Let's face it. That's why I wrote a book called Irrevocable Laws of Wealth Creation. Many Christians are breaking the laws of wealth creation. Wow. And once you break the law of wealth creation, it's like the law of gravity. I throw this toilet roll up, I don't have to pray. It comes down.
Yeah.
Because it has obeyed a law of gravity. Same thing. There are laws of wealth creation. You know, if you broke those laws, you will have challenge. Law of mentorship. If you don't have the right person who is challenging your dream, you can't achieve. Law of entrepreneurship. The law of entrepreneurship shows very clearly that the fastest and the best way to create wealth is by you being an entrepreneur. If I ask Mayowa, when you were a salaried man and when you were running your own business, when did you have a better income? There is no argument. There is no doubt. You know, that's why we're saying basket, storehouse. So many people, and with all due respect to people who are of my calling, some just need to realize that if they don't know, they need to get somebody who knows to come people. They need to bring someone who knows to come and instruct people. So this is the reason why many people have a challenge. There's no balance. There's no balance. There's no balance. So balance is a necessity. I hope I made sense.